Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Monday. So, we're in here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations with the Biz Chicks. I want to say hello this morning to my partner, Ms. Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. How you doing this morning, Fran?
I am doing very well. We got a fellow Biz Chicks all the way from Florida. She is in our clubhouse over there, and I think she's also going to be over on our live stream. And
over here on Facebook. How you doing, Dr. Taji?
So we want to welcome everybody who's watching live, on the replay, listening in the clubhouse. However you are joining this conversation, grab your favorite beverage, coffee, tea, water, whatever it is. Join the conversation, and let's talk about today. What do you need to know in order to grow your business, to grow your own personal life? What do you need to know? This whole conversation is stemming around the fact that if something is lacking in our lives or in our business, in our wallet, it means that we don't know some information. There's information that's missing. So if there's missing information, we won't know what to do, or we will be at a disadvantage. So we are here today to encourage the conversation about doing the research, getting in there and finding out what adjustments can be made just by getting some more info, more intel.
Mm-hmm.
Don't going in storming the whatever is happening without the proper intel. You don't
Exactly.
want, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what you don't know. So find out what you need to know. And then we're going to ask you, what do you use to find out what you need to know? Today, we wanted to have a clubhouse. We wanted to have a club on Clubhouse, and wasn't quite sure how to do it. And one of the things it is it's gonna take time. It's gonna take you pulling back to go get the information. So I happened to go in there today to set up the show, and it says what's new. Now, normally I could have just swiped through what's new.
Yes.
And didn't pay attention. But today I looked and it said what's new, and I pushed the little link, and it said you can now set up a clubhouse, your own clubhouse, without requesting it and doing all that. I was like, woo! Push the plus button and set up your clubhouse. So that's what we did today. Hey, Mark Ward, all the way from Chicago, Illinois, is over here in the clubhouse as well. And welcome, Mark. So today we're talking about, what do you need to know? You got to go get it. And Google is out there. What are some of the ways to go find out what you need to know?
Well, I want you to know that oftentimes we're asked to speak on subjects that we're not familiar with. And the first place I go is to Google to see who's the subject matter expert, and then hone in on that person to see what are the bones for what I need to know, and then fill in the different information gaps that I have, so that I have a credible reference for where I'm coming from.
So I like the going and going online to gather the intel or gather the information. And Dr. Tachi, with a background in journalism, I'm sure she might weigh in on this, but when you're going to gather intel, you're going to have to go make sure the source is, like you just said, credible. And
credible.
Deep research. You can't just pick the first thing that surfaces to the internet. Dr. Tachi, you want to say something to that?
But that's what we love to do. We like to see, oh, result number one, that's what I'm going to use, because we don't want to take the time to fully research. I always tell people, as a general rule, you need to go to at least 3 places to ensure that what you're about to put out there is actually so. Everybody can't be wrong. And there are some cases where everybody's been bamboozled, but for the most part, everybody's not wrong. And for the most part, if you're looking at credible sources, you're going to be able to find what you need. And like you were saying, credible is the key thing. So this is always the thing I tell my students when they're researching for a speech, in a public speaking course. Mm-hmm. I say, if you're doing a speech on oranges, you're probably better off going to the USDA website than you are going to bobswideworldoforanges.com. So it's just also using a little bit of common sense when it comes to research as well.
Mark, did you want to jump in there anywhere?
All I have to say is I love Bob's Wide World of Oranges.
Well, that's good.
Woo wee! Yeah, we knew it was on the way. So, going to get your information, we want to make sure the like Dr. Tachi and Terry were reiterating. Just make sure that the information is credible. Don't just, oh, I saw it on the internet and I'm good to go.
Okay.
It's true because it's on the internet. I'm like,
you remember that commercial where the guy says, I know he's a French model because it was on the internet or something. I don't
yeah, that whole thing. Yeah. Just because it's on the internet does not make sure it's true.
Mm-hmm. I think the one thing too is it's always important to check sources too. Like, what is the source of the information? Like, mm-hmm. It should be reference to the source material or studies or things of that nature, because a lot of times what people will do is they also confuse op-eds from reliable newspapers with facts. So you have to check that, because sometimes they're just opinion pieces that have been published in major newspapers. That doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just someone's opinion.
Right. And that right there is really crucial. And sometimes that stuff is like in fine print, and you're reading this, and I'm like, something's wrong with this whole thing here. And you read, and it's in the mix of the regular news. You know what I mean? It's kind of blended in there. Isn't that why they used to have the opinions page? But now it's all blended together.
There's also, I apologize, there's also this whole thing of informed opinion. So
informed opinion. Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay.
Informed opinion, yeah. So informed opinion means that, yes, your opinion is mixed in there, but it is rooted and backed up by facts and research, etc. So some of the things that I write is informed opinion. So, of course, my voice is going to be in there. It's not a straight news piece sometimes for what I write. But it's backed up by other research and all of those things. And that's really what social scientific research is to begin with, is what you think is probably the case. But then you go to see what other people say, and then, okay, I have that. That I get that they're saying this, but now I'm going to research and see what I actually find. And then you have the facts that turns it from informed opinion into a solid research study. But everything that's like research starts with informed opinion.
Right. So you do have to start on the quest. Like there, in the world of business, there are so many voices. Mm-hmm. Do it this way, turn it that way, make it purple, make it green, and just a lot of voices, and the product or service probably does work the way was stated for
Mhm.
that person. But for your business, what do you need? Um, Business comes down to mindset a lot. The lack of business can come down to mindset as well. What are you thinking about you, yourself, or how others perceive you? All of that goes into that. And the information that you got, it could have been where you were growing up, didn't tell you that you were going to make it, or, you'll never be anything, blah, 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 blah. So you have that information that from your upbringing, and maybe your upbringing was like, you can do anything, just go out and do it. So it just, or you could be somewhere in the middle of that. But that information at the back of your mind is still, that playlist is still going on back,
Mhm.
helping you make decisions for the good or the not so good right now. So and it's shaping our attitude, it's shaping our beliefs, it's shaping some other things. And a lot of times in business, we don't get down to, what do I really think about business? I know that for pricing things, people struggle with it because they struggle with um, maybe how they grew up, or money doesn't grow on trees. You can't charge that
Mhm.
based on the value that they see of themselves. Anyone?
Well, I'm sure our strategist has something to say. Come on, Mark. I was looking for you to wade in here because this is right down your alley. Go ahead.
And Dr. Tachi was going to say something. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
No, I was just agreeing with that. Upbringing and background does have quite a bit to do with everything. So I was just agreeing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Well, also to before we go to mindset, you were talking about the fact that we needed more information. It says in a multitude of counselors, there's wisdom. It's a study to show yourself approved. There's some wise um, direction given for how to get more information about that will help us do what we need to do.
Right. And since we're going down that vein, when you don't have knowledge, you are not going to make it too far.
Mhm.
Knowledge, ignorance is the lack of knowledge, right? It's like, I don't know something. I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. There's a puzzle out there, and I'm just getting, I got all of these things together, but there's just something missing. I'm not quite sure what it is. That's the time you got to find some counsel. Maybe you find a Mark Ward that's a life strategist.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you reach out to TJ, who, your social media game is not on point and you don't know why, and something is missing. Because for a long time, I know we've been talking about social media and how it works, but I needed something that was going to click all the pieces together. I had bits and pieces and thoughts and whatever, but it wasn't all jiving together. And until I heard this one lady, she was talking about she went, and it was a long process. So I understand that's why you need to hire a TJ, because in order to get what they're trying to tell you, you can't get the little bits and pieces or the snack sized information that they give for value. You understand what I mean? The little snack things that we get on a day-to-day basis that we hear, oh, set up your social media plan and da 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 da. That's not the only thing that you need. You're going to need whatever is behind that to make that work. And we don't, sometimes we try to live off snacks, is what I'm saying.
Oh, fast food.
We just living off the snacks. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's a perfect analogy, because what ends up happening, we've all snacked before. We've all said, you know what? I'm not going to eat real dinner. I'll be okay. Let me just eat these snacks. But you're still hungry. after the fact. So
Yes.
that's a perfect analogy. You're still left wanting more. You know, snacks are often not enough.
Yes. I can attest to that. You're like, oh, I need a full meal. Okay. So what we're trying to do is when you're looking for your information, don't go for the snacks. You're gonna need to I was gonna say invest in the meal.
Okay.
Invest in the understanding, because I can sit with TJ and learn everything I need to learn about the whole process
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting a little here and a little there and a little here and a little there, and it doesn't make sense. And you're gonna need to pay somebody. You're gonna need to pay for that dinner.
Exactly.
And it's okay. Or you're gonna either pay for the long time of going through business or life when you could have had it, you could have been enjoying it, but you're still dragging it out because we haven't made the investment.
The consequences of disinvestment.
You haven't made the investment because there's that whole, well, maybe I can just get it for free. If I listen to enough people, it'll all click. I am telling you, it has never clicked that way until I made the investment in a coach in a particular area.
Mm-hmm.
Once I made that investment in that coach, you have access to the wisdom that that person has in their field. Before it was just like, oh, I heard so and so say that, but you don't have access to the wisdom. You don't have access to ask questions. So when you hear those, oh, I can make six figures, and they give you the little snacks, the little, what are they called? The little nuggets, but they're not enough. They're not enough to change anything. I mean, it's enough to get you interested, and that's what it was designed.
Oh, appetizers?
Oh, appetizers. So they gave you enough to get interested, but it wasn't enough for you to make a difference because you need to make the investment.
And appetizers are not cheap.
No, they're not.
That's why there are consequences.
Well, yeah, no, to that point, it's like you're trying to fill up on all these appetizers, but then you've spent more than if you had just gone and gotten the initial meal and been satiated. So
exactly.
It's information. You're going and looking up all these bits and pieces from Wikipedia, and no disrespect, that's a great place to start. But, you know, some people don't do the extra research and they'll just use that Wikipedia entry. Meanwhile, the entire full meal that would have satisfied the information you needed is someplace else. So you all are coming up with these fire analogies today.
Yeah, okay. It's been interesting. And the whole concept started about, what do I need? I'm looking around in my life and something is missing. If I don't have my health in order, I'm missing information somewhere that I need to stop and investigate and find out what that information is. And what's lacking. And sometimes we don't want to stop, pull back, slow down, or like Terry said, get somewhere and sit down and find out what is the problem. My feet hurt. My feet hurt. But you won't sit down and get the rock out your shoe. Sit down, take the shoe off, figure out what's going on. You're just going to keep walking on it.
Absolutely love that analogy. One of the analogies that I use all of the time, which I think is indicative of the way that many of us unconsciously live our lives, is you're walking down the street and you step into some dog do. And so you have the choice, right? You can spend the whole day talking about the injustice of someone who didn't pick up their dog. And not only was that an injustice, but you're the one who stepped in it. right? You can go around and do that, or you can clean your shoes off, and you can also watch where you're walking.
Oh, you mean there's all of responsibility is in I'm responsible, Mark?
I know it's shocking, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. And it really is, because I've heard people say, well, they won't let me. I could if they would. And it was always somebody else.
Someone else's fault.
Right. The reason why they couldn't do it, or it's not working, because they won't give me the information. They won't pay me. They won't. And the responsibility is actually in my court, because that means if they won't, that means I need to go to a new place.
Oh my gosh, I just have this image of people walking around with poo on their shoe, and they smell it all day long. They know that. What is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? It's you, boo. Look at your shoe. Okay. Clean up your act. And sometimes we just need that reality check that it's on our shoe and not somebody else's. Okay. But yeah, I can just visualize that, Mark. It's just so vivid in my mind. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Thanks for joining us over here on the live stream. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Clean up your shoe, boo.
Yeah, so I love these types of conversations, because there was a concept that we learned about when I was in the PhD program, and so many things stuck with me, but this stuck with me because we see examples of it every day. So the concept of locus of control, and I'm sure Mark is very aware of this, and many of you may be aware. So locus of control really looks at the extent to which you feel you have control over any event that influences your life. So if you have an external locus of control, you have a tendency to point to all the bad things that are happening or as somebody else's fault, right? And then you also have the tendency to attribute good things, if you have an internal locus of control, to attribute good things to the things you are actually doing, as opposed to other people's influence. So every time I hear this conversation, it just makes me think of locus of control and how people constantly are pointing to the things being the fault of others as having that external locus of control.
It's so amusing about it too is, okay, let's just say that everything that you are arguing is completely right, and there is absolutely nothing in the planet that can be done to change it. Why are you talking about it?
Wow, Mark, that was good.
I mean, hey, it's null and void, right?
It is not going to change.
It's a new subject. It's not. The discussion is over. It's all done.
Yeah. So why? I was in one of my classes, I was doing some research and for a class, and I came across this quote. I put it out on my Twitter today. Base your information on your destination. Is that what it is? Get the information you need based on the destination that you're going to. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I get to choose
what you take in.
Choose your information based on the destination that you're going, based on where it is that you want to go. So do I sit and listen to Tom, Dick, Harriet, and Josephine, but they're not talking about anything, and it's not benefiting me? Or I can change that and find information, that credible information that is going to help me get to my destination. That quote was by Miles Monroe. I needed to get information that's going to get me to my destination, which means I might need to change addresses. If the people where I'm living is not helping me get there in the noise that comes from that location, I might need to change locations.
And so implicit in what you were saying and the importance of what you're saying is you have to know where you're going.
Oh,
and in my experience, I find many people have been traveling for a long time, but they forgot what the destination is. Because you're driving along, you see all these little shiny objects along the way, and you keep stopping and taking detours and all that to the point where, now, where exactly was it that I was headed? There are many people who spend the largest part of their life, like, driving all around with no destination and no timeline for their arrival.
Wow. Okay, Mark. See, Mark just took this to a whole nother thing. We had to go deeper. So so the information you have doesn't matter if you don't know where you want to go.
Yes.
You're just driving.
There you go. Dr. Tasha says she loves your hair, friend.
Oh, thank you. You can thank Mr. Dakista for that.
Okay. Well, that platinum is kicking. It's really pretty.
Platinum is your color.
Thank you. And she's a fashion expert, so
there you go.
It's the right credible source for information.
Well, thank you. See, your own advice.
So yeah, it is really, that was good, Mark. I really have to say, because see, I know what destination I'm trying to get to. And I've decided to gather information or move to wherever I can get the information for that. But if I don't know where I'm going, that is another conundrum that, okay, I'm using big words today. That is another issue altogether. And people are wandering around in circles or driving in circles or skateboarding in circles or scootering in circles.
Well, you think of it this way. I mean, most of us would not set out. You wouldn't drive from New York to Los Angeles without a map or a GPS or without some kind of plan. But how many of us are going through our life without any kind of plan, any kind of intended destination, and then we wonder why there's so much turmoil.
Thanks, Mark, for pointing out another thing. We cross our fingers plan, to cross our fingers, close our eyes, and it's like, okay, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But we need to work it. We got to come up with a plan. Or sit somewhere. Hey, Terica, welcome to the Biz Chicks conversation and coffee conversations, talking about what it is that you need to know in order to grow personally or in your business. And if you'd like to, hey, Liz, if you'd like to join the conversation, we'd love to have you. Just raise your hand, and Liz is, I'm pushing buttons and doing the same thing. Invite to speak. Terica, you are more than welcome to join the conversation as well. We're talking about, what do you need to know to grow your business? All right, Terica. So, hey, Liz, what's up?
Oh, listening to the conversation, and I was listening on YouTube. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's like being on a tour bus if you don't know your destination. You have to stop at all of the stops, and you have to see all of the things that other people see, opposed to picking your own destination and setting your course of action by the destination that you want to reach, and yours does not have to be the same as everybody else's. And that's the key, I think.
Wow. Boy, that was a thought. You
I
on
never
the
thought
tour
of it
bus.
like a tour bus. And the thing with a tour bus, I love that, Elizabeth. Thank you. Is that you're turning your head left, and on your left you have to, and on your right and you could miss something because you're so busy. You're like a ping pong ball trying to see it all
And
on
here's
that tour.
the tour bus analogy is good also because the tour company is determining where you're going,
Mm-hmm.
not you. The tour company is telling you what stops we're going to make and where you're going to make them, how long you're going to make them. I remember when we went to Canada um, for for something, we were up at Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the tour bus, remember when we went through customs or through
Oh
the,
yes, the
get
border. We
on
crossed
the
the border.
bus, get on the bus, drive to customs, get off the bus, show your passport, walk out the gate, get on
Walk
the
to the
bus on the
building.
other side to go across the bridge that was literally 2 minutes across from. I was like, wow, okay. But the tour company was telling us everything. We didn't have control over anything that day.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to keep us out of jail. If they ask you a question, this is what you say. So, do you want to be on a tour bus, or do you want to be driving your own bus, plane, train, or automobile? Are we going to leave it up to someone else?
And having a coach, a guide to take you to the specific place where you want to go, it is an investment. You know, when I learned to play tennis, I went out there and I struggled for a year trying to do it on my own. As soon as I got a coach, I started winning. And I've in any area of your life, if you want to move fast, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in those things that will help you get to your destination, opposed to hopping on that tour bus and saying, well, this one over here did it, and this one over here. You're looking in the past, opposed to thinking about, what do I want now? What kind of information do I need? Do I need to lose weight? Do I need to get my finances in order? What do I need first before you go out picking a coach to help you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good. Welcome, Bobby, to Biz Chicks conversation, coffee conversations. What do you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about, what do I need to know to get me where I want to go? And then, as Mark Ward brought out, do you even know where you want to go? And then Liz talked about, are you even on the right bus to get where you want to go? Are you on a tour bus, or are you driving your own bus? And if you'd like to weigh in on the conversation, just raise your hand and we'll bring you to the stage. So I think this has been a very good conversation. I am rethinking, am I really going where I wanted to go?
Mm-hmm. You know, there are two. I remember when we used to do the Millionaire Walk, Fran, and one of the billionaires on the walk said, wealthy people ask themselves this question: where am I going and who am I taking with me?
So where are you going and who are you taking with you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need to know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm.
First of all, today we're dealing with just where
are we
where
going?
we're going.
And maybe tomorrow we'll talk about who are we taking with us. I'm reminded of, that it's been a big conversation for LeBron James. Oh, he's spending millions on his personal trainers and what have you. Okay, so is it paying off? Yes.
I would say.
He picked his team like he wanted to win. I'm talking about his personal team. So He may have had a coach when he was growing up, and he didn't have the money to pay the coach, but somebody saw something in him and invested time into him when he was growing up, and while he's learning how to play basketball. But now that he's where he is now, he is investing in himself, paying the coach. And I think sometimes people think that when they get to a certain place, well, when I make it, I won't have to do that anymore. You're going to need to keep investing in yourself. Like with Mark Ward being a life strategist, if you are bewildered and walking around in the wilderness and not quite knowing what you need to do or don't have a plan, you might need to reach out to Mark. Am I saying that right, Mark? Is that what you kind of cover?
It is indeed.
Okay. So, and then Liz can help you on some things. Liz, tell us about what it is that you do, please.
I help you do just that. It's to keep asking you the question, what do you want? And what do you want now? And once you decided what you want and what you want now, you have that destination. We forget that life is a journey that is supposed to be enjoyed opposed to a destination. We never stop. It's like you going into the gym, your trainer gives you a 5-pound weight to start with, but each time you move up, you have to, in weight, you have to learn a new skill. And we keep forgetting that it's important to be open to learning new skills to move us to the next place in our journey. And we can determine our journey. Nobody else can qualify, or nobody else. We can choose. We don't have to let others choose. So that, and working with specifically women in their second half who have been on everybody else's tour bus, okay? And they finally decided that, hey, this time I'm going to choose. This is what I want to see this time. And knowing that you can get it with the right information and instruction. So that's me, helping people to be empowered, to remember their power of choice.
Very nice. TJ, you've been kind of silent over there. Are you just listening in the wings, or would you like to weigh in and tell us what it is, how you serve and help?
Hey everybody, good morning. I am working on a project that I don't know if you so I didn't really hear the. Want to repeat the question?
Well, how do you help? What do you do? Because today we're talking about gathering information that we need to build our businesses, or to get to the next level, or to figure out what it is we want to do in life. And I know you are digital marketing and social media strategy. And so what do you do? Or how do you help? Let's put it that way.
Well, I look at it like this. I look at it as guiding others that are not seeing the path ahead, especially with digital marketing, because it changes constantly. And I know that business owners especially don't have time to see the changes or hear the changes. I know there's daily news that comes out about digital marketing, but if you're running a business, you don't have time to keep up with the latest or the changes or what's coming. So I kind of see myself like that as the guide that says, hey, this is what's happening and I need for you to know, and I need to explain it to you simply so you do understand, and then you can get back to growing your business.
Thank you. See, I love that. And Dr. Tachi. Oh, she may have stepped away.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, you want to tell us? I know it was brief, but tell us what you do and how we can find you.
Okay. I essentially help people define success in some measurable capacity and then work with them to create the strategies to ensure that they achieve it. So I have people who come to me who really are not quite clear about what they want to create, but they know that they can no longer withstand or deal with the life that they have now. They want to create something different. And some people are very clear about what they want and they don't know just how quite to get from here to there. So I have both of those. And you can find me at Ask Mark Ward on all social media. And you can also find my business, which is New Design, at askmarkward.com.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Dr. Tachi, if you're there, you can just tell us a little about what you do. And if you've taken a pause, that's okay. I want everybody here to follow someone else that resonated with you. We are here every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time to talk about a thought or a conversation, something to help you get your business going the way it should. And sometimes the things in business are not obvious. There's something in the background, in the subconscious. And that's the kind of things that we do around our coffee conversations on Monday. Tuesdays, over on our live stream at bizchicks.live, we talk, TJ comes in and talks to us about digital marketing and social media. And her and Terry, we call them Terry and Terry, they cover all of have that discussion so that you can join in there and keep up to date with what's happening in social media and digital marketing. Yes. And then on Wednesday, we have Coach Karen in the house, and she's talking about profits in daily, helping you bring profits in daily to your business. And are you all you gonna be in the clubhouse room for that, Terry? I
don't think so. Not yet.
Okay, so right now it's just on the live stream.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that may be, when the populace starts asking for it, then we'll get it over there. And then on Thursday, we talk about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends, because if you don't have your health, you are not going to enjoy your wealth. So we talk about all aspects of business and health being one of them. And then Friday, we talk tech in English, as Terry calls it. We right here on Clubhouse, we will be talking Tech Life Weekly. We had fun playing in the sandbox last week. And so we cut our little Clubhouse audio short that day, but talking Tech Life Weekly, what's happening in media, social media, and tech in general, so that you can keep up with whatever is going on in the world, how your technology affects your business. And then if you'd like to join BizTix, you can text BIZ to 33777. Text Biz to 33777. Join the BizChicks group over here on Clubhouse. And we will keep you up to date with all 5 of the aspects that we talked about, tips and strategies to help you network, connect, share, and grow. That's what we're here for, helping you get out there, the tools that you need to get your business going. We are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we do that through our workshops that we have coming up. We'll do that through office hours, which is Terry and I sitting down and talking with you. And then we also have masterminds once a quarter, just to help get you where you need to be. And we bring in subject matter experts like those who are in the house with us today, Dr. Tachi, Mark, Elizabeth, and TJ. And we have so many other people that we bring in once in a while to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, bottom line. So thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you. Any final words from the clubhouse? Or any Dr. Tachi you
On
do
the live stream.
media, and she has a Media Scope on Wednesdays. Tell us what else you got going on. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, tell us what you got going on. I know you got Media Scope on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, Mediascope, 6 p.m. Eastern on various different platforms. Also, we have the podcast TV channeling, and that's on every single podcast platform, plus WJMSradio.com on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right. So that is our time for today. Have
Thank you,
a
Terry.
wonderful Monday. You know your success is always guaranteed when you have the right information. So go out and get that information. Share it with someone else. Bobby and Terica, thank you for sitting in and listening to us. Feel free to join Biz Chicks if you like over here on Clubhouse. Or like we said, text Biz to 33777. You'll get a free PDF on the standard operating procedures for business success. We will see you tomorrow, everybody. And Terry?
We just want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Bye-bye.